if I were to start learning software development all over again, here's what I'm going to do differently in 2024. Hi, my name is Steven, and the purpose of this video is to guide you and simplify your journey in becoming a software developer. One of the mistakes I made when I was learning software development was that I didn't focus on one core component of software development. I was jumping from backend development to front-end. I even dive into game development. This really makes my learning process very difficult and slow. In this video, we'll be focusing on two components of software development, in which I'm going to be giving us the roadmap for back-end development and front-end development. If you are to focus on front-end development, there are two core programming languages you need to focus on, which is HTML and CSS. Even though many people argued that HTML is not a programming language, however, why did I ask you to start with HTML and CSS? HTML is used to build a static website, while CSS is used to beautify a website. So if, as a beginner, you are able to build a website with HTML and CSS, that is a good project for you as a beginner. So once you are done with HTML and CSS, another aspect you need to focus on is JavaScript. JavaScript is very wide. That is why many people find JavaScript very difficult to learn. One of the aspects you need to focus on in JavaScript, you need to know data types. Then conditional statements, and then looping. You need to know the data type, conditional statement, looping, and then DOM manipulation, which is very important. And then DOM manipulations. So with this, I'm very sure that if you can follow this process, you know data types, you know conditional statements, looping, and then DOM manipulation, your learning JavaScript becomes simplified. Now, once you are done learning JavaScript, JavaScript has a lot of frameworks, in which number one frameworks of JavaScript is React. We have React, Angular. These are the three popular ones, and Vue.js. So as I've said earlier, that JavaScript has a lot of frameworks, but these are the three popular ones here, which is we have React, Angular, and Vue.js. I'm going to advise you to focus on React.js. Why did I ask you to focus on React.js? Why? Because React.js is one of the most popular out of these three. And then for you to get a job quickly as a beginner, React.js is a very good programming language that you can learn. Because out there, many employers, many industries are looking for front-end developers that are good with React.js, which is very important. Now, once you are done with this, you start with HTML and CSS, then you move to JavaScript, then make sure you follow this data type, conditional statements, looping, DOM manipulation, and then you pick any of these frameworks. Don't jump from React and then to Angular to Vue.js. No, if you want to focus on React, focus on that. If you want to focus on Angular, if you want to focus on Vue.js, focus on that. Now, once you are done with this, now let's say you want to focus on backend development. So what are the things you need to focus on in backend development? There are core programming language, different programming languages for backend. We have Python, we have Golang, we have Java, we have PHP. So we have some other couple of programming language. But as a beginner, here is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to advise you to learn Python. So why did I ask you to learn Python? Python is very easy to learn. The syntax, the data structures are very easy to learn. So I'm going to advise you to focus on Python and then just follow the same procedure that I explained for JavaScript the other time. Make sure you know the data type in Python. You know the data type. Now you know, once you are done with the data type, the conditional statements as well is really important. Just follow the same process, and then we have the looping aspect of things, and then once you just follow this data type, conditional statement, looping, and then once you are done with that, it's advisable to pick one web framework of Python. Now we have the popular ones I know of is Flask, Django, and Fast API. and fast API. As a beginner, I'm going to advise you to focus to start with Flask, because Flask is a beginner friendly as well in developing APIs, in authentications and the likes. Flask is very good with that. Even though Django and fast APIs, they are all okay, but based on my own opinion, if you are a beginner, I'm going to advise you to start with Flask. Okay, once you are done with the web frameworks, just go ahead. The next thing you need to know is database, how to interact with database. Let me clear this up. So the next thing you need to know is database. So you need to have the understanding that the different types of database. We have the rational database, and then non-rational database. Non-rational database. Under rational database is where we have MySQL, we have Postgres, and then under non-rational is where we have MongoDB. We have MongoDB, Firebase. So you have to have this understanding on how to do create, updates. Okay, create, read, updates, and deletes, which is popularly called CRUD, and deletes. So which is popularly called CRUD. So you have to have this understanding on how you can create, that is how you can save your database, how you can read, how you can update, and how you can delete. So these are the various aspects you need to focus on from backend development, front-end development. So the take home here is that just make sure you don't jump from one component to the other. Once you are done with the backend and you know you are very good, then you can now move to the front-end development. I'm going to be sharing a link in the description to where you can find a comprehensive roadmap for backend development and then for front-end development in the description. So if you have any question, you can drop your question in the comment section and I will be there to answer you. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and like this video.